30 minutes for discussion. So when you raise questions or comments or any opinion, please identify yourself, your name, your institutional affiliation, and to whom you are referring your questions and comments. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm also IFPRI Akoto from Ghana. I'm the ranking member in Parliament for Food, Agriculture, and Cocoa Affairs. I find this program very interesting. And as you say, all the presenters have described it as large. Is this outside the normal Ministry of Agriculture programs, or is it an integrated part of the Ministry of Agriculture? And if it is outside the normal program of the Ministry of Agriculture, how have the ministry adopted the lessons that have been so brilliantly expanded? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. My name is Fadlaka from Helpage International. My question refers to Ato Brahanu and the other speakers. It can be also applicable, and Dr. Alamayo. The first is just they are interconnected. About the graduation, which is very good to hear that 3 million have graduated from this program. But still we know that the context in which this program is operating is chronically poor area. And how do you know that those 3 million are not falling back whenever there are shocks and further vulnerabilities because of weather changes and other calamities? That's one thing. The second is, as you graduate, maybe if you graduate from high school, you go into a college or university. So what kind of complemental programs and linkage really you have, and how this is being coordinated by other actors to make sure that really they go from anti-pain reduction of vulnerability to a full-fledged food security and self-reliance. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I will come back to you. Let me exhaust this.
Thank you. I'm Dereje from IFPRI, Eastern and Southern Africa Regional Office. I have 2 questions to forward. The first one is to Ato Brahanu. I'm a bit suspicious about the graduation thing. My village personal experience and also some literatures reflect that the graduation thing is sometimes a political decision at the village level by local administrations. Do you think that the the graduates really broke the vicious circle of poverty? Are they really resilient to shocks? This is the first thing which I want to forward. And the second question which I would like to forward, it might be either to Dr. John or Dr. Almayo. It's just immediately or 2 years after the launch of this national flagship food security program that the country faces a galloping inflation. And then we could find the evaluations, in fact the last evaluation as Dr. Yenus reflected, that the food gap decline in some regions, in fact it is region specific, from 1.3 months to 0.03 months. Do you think, I want to ask you here that, what would happen if this galloping inflation was not there? Thank you very much.
Abdam Fukadu from Save the Children Ethiopia office. My question is, what is the impact of PSNP on nutrition?
Sorry, did you get?
The impact of PSNP on nutrition.
Morning. My name is Alexandra. I'm a nutrition advisor for International Medical Corps. My question, I think, is for Dr. Hodinot. You presented a lot of data on impact, and you rightly say that a lot of countries are now more and more interested in looking at this model, but we still have a lot of work to do in convincing some of the government, and I wanted to know if among your evaluation you are also looking at indicators on the return on investment on a just purely financial point of view.
Asafa from Ethiopia. I have two questions. One is related to the question raised by Fallaka. I mean, the issue is about resilience. I have been reading a recent report about chronic poverty, and that report clearly shows that the number of people that goes back into poverty in Ethiopia particularly is alarming. It shows that, you know, there are a number of people that goes back into poverty after graduating from this kind of programs. What is your experience here? I mean, do we have that kind of experience in this program? Number two is about the nutrition issue. Yes, PSNP has been very successful in many areas, but the nutrition outcome have not been particularly very satisfactory. And there is a recent national nutrition strategy that have been drafted. To what extent is the next generation of PSNP very much coordinated with nutrition issues? I would like to know that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. My name is Justus Liku. I'm a technical advisor with K International. And my question is related to the uniqueness of this program in Ethiopia and whether if we replicate it in another country, whether it could work. And you are mentioning the three key things, the government ownership, the donor coordination, the long-term perspective of it. But my question would be, what other government investments have gone in these particular areas within the period of the program? And what I mean by government investment is something like infrastructure, new roads which have been built by the government in the area, maybe big water projects, you know, which maybe could support the impact we are hearing. So I would love to hear that. Yeah.
So, any question, comment?
My name is Mark Fritzler. I'm the director for the TOPS program, which is implemented by Save the Children, Mercy Corps, Food for the Hungry, Tango International, and the CARE Group. My question relates partly to what the gentleman just said here before, but Dr. Hodnot, you mentioned as one of the three components was a long-term perspective. I'd like to be interested. I'm interested in hearing what those long-term perspectives are, how they're described, what kind of long-term commitments are being made, in fact. And the other part had to do with partnership, and it's very, very obvious that the government ownership and partnership is very important with this, as well as the partnership that Matthew described. I'm curious in hearing to what degree are the implementing agencies, the NGOs, indigenous as well as international, are included in that partnership and in that dialogue, and to what degree are the beneficiaries actually gaining ownership of the initiatives that are underway. And this partly, I think, relates to Dr. Alamanyu's points there about lessons learned. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the questions and comments. I now invite Dr. Alamayu to take the lead in responding to the questions and comments. So we follow the row.
Thank you very much. Obviously, there are a large number of questions, and the best strategy is to kind of split them in response. I will deal with some of these, and John would also deal. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Oh. How about now? Okay. It's in my face, but okay. So we will split the questions. I will deal with some of them, and John and others would take care of the others. I'll focus on the inflation question and the last question about the role of beneficiaries. As my colleague highlighted, the last decade has been a very inflationary period in parts in Ethiopia, particularly the earlier years of 2007, 8, and 9 of the program, and later on in 2011. So our assessment of the benefits from the PSNP obviously has to account for that situation, and in every towards that end we have collected price information in every locality that our survey covered, and this price survey covered a significant fraction of goods consumed regularly by residents of those localities, including our beneficiaries, and all the benefits are measured in a comparable constant prices. So in other words, the estimated benefits happened irrespective of those and over and beyond the consequences of those price increases. And so not only that, in fact, we also highlight the fact that a number of drought episodes occurred in pockets of the country, and these also will have impact on how beneficiaries fare. So our impact estimates that John summarized account for both the increase in prices as well as drought episodes as they occurred. So that's as far as the inflation question is concerned. The PSNP is designed to provide significant role to beneficiaries, at least the communities in which the beneficiaries are located. There is a structure starting from the Qabale, the smallest administrative unit. So you have the Qabale Food Security Task Force, which is responsible for coordinating the PSNP activities in that Qabale. And this includes targeting, the selection of public works financed programs, and public works built assets, roads, and so on and so forth, and also in the appeals process. So the community is involved in this. Perhaps I should stop there and pass it on to John.